Welcome back everyone. I wasn't going to make this video, but I typically do it for every single OnePlus device or any phone that comes out for that matter. And I really do think the OnePlus 9 is one of those phones that I'm not really super happy about. And I really do think OnePlus had the opportunity and had the chance of really wowing everybody this year, but it still seems like they're stuck in their own ways. And from what I've seen right now from all the leaks, and from OnePlus's own release event that they've done in the spec sheets, it does seem like the OnePlus 9, specifically with the OnePlus 9 Pro, it is such an interesting device in so many weird ways. And I really do think that one thing that OnePlus had going for them for so many years now was the value of the phone that you were getting. It wasn't necessarily like $8,000 or maybe like a $900 phone that you were getting. It was a $1,000 phone that you were getting for like $600, $700. And I think with the OnePlus 8, that's when we started seeing OnePlus going a different direction. And it seems like now OnePlus has positioned themselves as direct competitors to things like the Galaxy S21 Ultra, the iPhone 12 Pro Maxes, where it doesn't really compete in every single one of those categories, in all those categories in and of itself. Now, the one thing last year and the year before with the 7 Pros and the 7T Pros, the one thing we could keep saying was that, the fact that the OnePlus device wasn't a $1,000 phone, you can kind of look over some things. But eventually right now, like with things like the front camera and no IP certification with the standard in OnePlus 9 and the increased price tag, it just makes me think that these are just things that OnePlus should have never even done in the first place to increase their price tag, because it's almost like the Pixel paradox, as I call it. You'll remember the Pixel 4. The Pixel lineup was always a pretty good device. They weren't extremely expensive. And then eventually with the original Pixel, that's when it changed up. And I meant the Nexus devices. But then with the Pixel 4, they just positioned themselves as direct competitors to all those other phones that were, flagship devices. And it just didn't work out in Google's favor. And now they're doing the opposite and they're killing it, in my opinion. And OnePlus, they're kind of all over the place. They have budget phones, they have mid-tier phones, and now they have these top-tier phones. But it just doesn't really scream to me that the OnePlus 9 or the OnePlus 9 Pro are worth the money when you have a beautiful device like the OnePlus 8. Now, the back cameras have gotten pretty big improvements from what I can see. The Hasselblad camera on the back is really, really cool, and I'm super happy that OnePlus spent all that money in order to actually go ahead and improve their back camera. Is it perfect? Probably not, but I think it's going to be really, really good. But from what I've seen, from everything that I've saw so far, it does seem to me that the OnePlus 9 and the OnePlus 9 Pro still have 1080p cameras on the front, and I think that is insane in my opinion. That is crazy, the fact that these phones are selling for this much money and they only have 1080p cameras on the front. Again, they're high megapixel count, but dude, that's still insane. When you look at the Galaxy S21 Ultra, that thing has 4K at 60. I guarantee you within the next 2 years, we're going to be having 8K on the front of those phones, and it's almost the same thing that the Pixels had. The Pixels had 1080p cameras on the front for so many years. They had some of the best cameras on the back, but again, most people use the front cameras day to day, and that is something that's extremely important. And I feel like this is another really, really interesting thing that OnePlus did that they probably should have not done, in my opinion. Now, I do think the OnePlus 9 is probably the better phone between the two in terms of a price tag and like price per value and all that stuff. And I really do like the increase to the 120Hz refresh rate on the standard OnePlus 9. But I guess we'll see in the future how well this phone is going to be. But from what I've seen so far, it does seem like the OnePlus 9 Pro is one of those things that I'm not extremely happy about, in my opinion. And I think had they kept the same price tag, or at least the same pricing structure, I would have been probably more comfortable with it. But the fact that they totally switched it up on us makes me really uncomfortable about the OnePlus 9, and I really don't think it's worth it, especially if you're coming from a OnePlus 8 or OnePlus 8 Pro. And from what I've seen across the board on Reddit, in the comment sections of a lot of videos, because the pricing structure is so similar to the S21 Ultra, it just seems like it's not really worth the money. I think the S21 Ultra is the better phone. Now, with all that being said, I did buy both of these phones, so I'm going to be reviewing them, comparing and all that stuff, but I guess we'll see what happens in a couple weeks when I get these things. So that really pretty much covers it up. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys can hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my other channels. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.